The border is closed. The border is secure.
How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers?
Today we start with New York City. As you know, they have tens of thousands of people that have come across the secure border and are now in the city of New York, which has led to billions of dollars being used in the budget to house and feed these immigrants, in addition to the crime that it's already added to a city that has a crime problem to begin with. If you were running a city and you had an influx of people that caused you to cut the city's budget for citizens to pay for non-citizens, you see these crimes that are being committed by people that have recently come here, and it is all because you have designated the city as a sanctuary city. You would think they would be considering going away from this sanctuary city status, but instead they come up with ideas like this.
Plan that states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard.
So just to kind of put this into context, someone comes across the border illegally, gets shipped from Texas to New York City. Your kids then go to the pool. That person is now their lifeguard, which can only be described as clown world politics. And I do have to say, the whole excellent swimmer thing is pretty funny. Democrats are always running around talking about how stereotyping people is so evil and horrible. And here he is saying, oh, well, they're excellent swimmers. Now we head over to Massachusetts to see what they're dealing with. They have a school system that's being overrun by these immigrants. They're turning a former prison into a shelter for illegal immigrants. And then we have a party where a few illegal immigrants were arrested after shots were fired. And while you're watching this, just remember Governor Maura Healey is a big supporter of sanctuary cities, and she has been for a long time.
Officials in the town of Norfolk are scrambling to figure out how to deal with a sudden surge and influx in migrants. The town just learned that the state will transform the former prison on the Norfolk-Walpole line into an emergency shelter for migrant and homeless families. Town leaders are waiting to learn how many children they'll need to accommodate in their school district. Governor Maura Healey says the old Bay State Correctional Center will be able to house 140 families or up to 450 people. Many of them are migrants who have been sleeping at Logan Airport. Parents in Norfolk are worried about overcrowding.
There's so many kids now, and then this on top of it, it's going to be tough.
There are 2,000 migrant students in our local schools right now in 74 different districts.
And that is creating a huge challenge for not only those communities, but the state. I sat down with the Secretary of Education to see how the state is helping with this growing issue.
Raise a quiet hand.
Inside the classrooms in Peabody and 73 other districts sheltering migrant families, the work is challenging. Blending international students is definitely not easy, but not everyone has to.
In talking to the state, enough is enough.
Peabody Superintendent Josh Vidala is on the front lines of the problem. They received 80 new students since September.
We've taken on our share, and we're doing a good job. If you continue to pile on, we're worried that we're not going to be able to provide the same service, and then it all falls apart.
Red Solo cups strewn down the driveway and the street, an indication of the raging party at this sprawling property that ended up deadly.
We heard a pop, and then we turned around because we didn't know if it was a bottle being broke or a balloon, because it was a birthday party at the end of the day. And then you just heard pop, 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 pop.
Cell phone video shows the chaos Saturday night into Sunday morning. Nearly 300 people.
We have one male that was assaulted by several individuals. A firearm was brandished, believed to still be at the party.
As soon as I got out the woods and I went down the hill, I saw them bring in the body on the stretcher. I did see them doing CPR. It was a terrible thing to see. There was other people that got injured.
A 16-year-old was fatally wounded.
In court, 3 suspects hid behind a white board facing gun charges. One of them, 20-year-old Wallacem Teixeira de Silva, who lives in Hyde Park.
They found a handgun on a stone path that was leading up to the home. This defendant was asked about that, and he admitted that the firearm belonged to him.
Defense attorneys for the 2 other suspects say they happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
During this news report where they casually just say that the 3 suspects are behind that whiteboard, you would think that they were underage or something along those lines. But they're not. It appears as though they're all above 18 years old and they all came across the border.
Since De Silva is the only one facing a felony charge, he's now being held without bail. The judge set bail at $25,000 each for the other two suspects. Their names are Arnaldo Filo and Pedro Pasos.
Then we have another illegal immigrant being accused of a crime in West Virginia.
Well, in West Virginia, an arrest has been made after a woman's body was found in a burning field in Martinsburg. Deputies say the suspect in the murder is David Antonio Calderon. They say he is from El Salvador and was denied asylum in Canada, but was still able to make his way into the States. They say video surveillance, tracking, GPS, and DNA evidence led them to the suspect.
Next, we have more complaining from Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. What his comments really highlight is that the entire sanctuary city / sanctuary state thing is really just an emotional thing that they put on paper to please their voters. Once they're actually having to live up to these standards, house people, pay for everything that comes with them, all they do is complain about it and want money from the federal government.
The governor of Texas is determined to create chaos. We have brought calm, structure to a very volatile situation. But again, this is unprecedented. Unprecedented. Never in the history of America where a local government has been asked to build a resettlement for migrants. But yet here we are.
In Denver, they're asking you to take these illegal immigrants into your home, which they've also done in Massachusetts as well.
Now, if you're interested in learning more about hosting a migrant family, all you got to do is take out your phone, dial 211. It's as easy as that. You're going to be asked a few questions, things along the lines of how long are you able to host somebody, what kind of space are you available to provide, and Kettering says you can expect that phone call to last about 20 minutes.
والله الشعور وقت انحبست أنا إنه شهر كامل بالسجن حسيت إنه أنا لو كنت بسوريا أو بالأردن كان أحسن لي الصراحة يعني كنت لأنه ظلم بظلم وانحبست شهر.
So that was the BBC running an interview about how racist Europe is against these so-called asylum seekers. Here's the crime that he was actually convicted of. Lastly, there's a pretty good local news report coming out of Texas about the human smuggling arrests that have gone on since 2021. And there's also another caravan making its way towards the U.S.-Mexico border.
According to Texas Department of Public Safety data, more than 7,300 people have been arrested on smuggling charges since the start of Operation Lone Star in March 2021.
We've arrested people that were attorneys in the medical field, even soldiers. We've arrested one of our own National Guard soldiers that was involved in human smuggling.
And DPS shows those arrested range in age from 13 to 77.
A lot of times I've seen them communicated through Xbox, PlayStation, Snapchat.
They know how to target a much younger audience by using social media.
Recruiters also create the illusion of low risk. Pick up 2 or 3 people and drive them from one city to the next. You never cross the border.
There is a clear lack of appreciation for the consequences.
You have a wave of violent migrant gangs coming here. These people are from a whole nother country, and they're on a whole nother level. So now they're rivaling the inner city gangs that you've known about for years, and now comes a whole new wave coming in. They have no rules. They really don't care about the rule book because they're from another country and they don't care if they get caught or they don't get caught.
The border is closed. The border is secure.